Good early morning or very late evening, depending on your perspective. It's about 3 a.m. here in New York, and thanks for the retweets, forcing me to stay up to make a video, and I'm glad to do it. So I want to keep this short like last week, but I want to short and punchy, but I want to share with you a little bit of Elliott Wave Theory that's non-standard, that maybe not hard to find some of these rules, and talk about a count that I think may be what's going on. But first, I did this analysis, I think 1 or 2, maybe 3 videos ago, where I talked about using swing counts to determine trends. The simplest way to do it. You got swing high, swing low. You're looking for 2 lowers or 2 highs consecutively to establish a trend, right? So this is a lower, it's lower high, and this is lower low relative to this low. So 2 lowers in a row makes a trend down. Another lower, this time a lower high relative to this high, establishes the trend further, but then this higher, it's a higher lower relative to this pivot, challenges the trend. Now, it doesn't mean the trend's over. Again, it takes 2, but we don't get the second. We don't get the second higher. We get another lower high relative to this. Trend potentially reestablished, but then, yeah, this lower low reestablishes 2 consecutive. Okay. Every time you get a higher, it challenges the trend and potentially puts it in a period of sideways fuckery. There's 3 directions, up, down, and sideways, right? So down, down confirmed, sideways. Down, possibility, but still sideways. Down confirmed again, because it's a lower low, right? Okay, this lower high confirms the downward trend further, but this higher low challenges it. Okay, now we're looking for another higher, but we don't get it. We get another lower high. But because the lower high is just 1, after this, we're looking for another lower low, another lower, to reestablish the downward trend. But we didn't get it. Interesting. Now, it doesn't mean we can't get it. This could easily be some kind of move that could break down to get it. But for now, we are officially in sideways fuckery. This was down all the way here, and now we're sideways. It's kind of interesting, right? And that's what I wanted to analyze today. It is no secret that everyone and their grandmother has been making charts that kind of look like this. Okay? I mean, this is just undeniably what's going on geometrically, right? Now, if you're a pattern trader, then you're looking at this differently than an Elliottian. Elliottian needs to focus on the triangle rules or the diagonal rules to make this a count. I've already done a count where this was an ending diag. I think it was a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. You can look at that. And that was for one of the few bull counts I did. And then I've done a triangle many times, right? Now, one of the things that bothered me about the triangle counts is the substantial length in time of this structure, which I had it as a B. A, huge B, C, D, and E, right? Now, it sure as hell looked like that's what it was for a little hot minute there, because this was an epic dilly. This was the largest volume in BitMEX history that got put into. I mean, it was vertical, and it was vicious. I remember because I was short this whole thing, and a lot of our members were as well, and we were wondering, when the hell do we cover this short? Because it looks like it's going to go down to 2K in a straight shot, and it didn't. It's been kind of caught in this sideways fuckery here for some time now. And it's so substantial, in fact, in time, that I no longer think it's of a lower degree than this impulsive move down. I think this is of the same degree as this, is what I'm thinking. Which, to me, forces it to be some kind of 2, 1, 2, and then a 3 down, or a B. A, B, and then a C down. Now, whether this is over or not remains to be seen. It looks like it's got some legs going up, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so point being, these higher lows consecutively interspersed with these lower highs has now established sideways as a direction for this trend. For now. Again, this could go down here. So we got to talk about triangles now at this point. You know, we've been talking about them, but one of the challenges of if you're an Elliottician as opposed to just a pattern trader is, to a pattern trader, you look at this and you're like, oh, triangle or wedge, simple, easy peasy, right? Well, not so fast for Elliotticians. There's strict guidelines as to what can or cannot be a triangle, which is why we have to count this as a massive B leg. Alternatively, you know, you could have a situation where you have a WXY to end the whole correction of the Y as a triangle. ABCW, ABCX, huge A, B, C, D, E, right? And that's possible. Now, I'm not liking that option. Let me explain to you why. Here it is charted up a little better. So, first thing is, just look at how enormously substantial this A is, right? Just massive compared to the B, the C, the D, and the E. Secondly, if this is, first of all, this ain't the E, right? Because if this was the E, by now it would be in like 8,000 or 9,000. I guarantee you. The thrust that follows the Y, the E of a Y correction, that is of at least a primary, if not a cycle degree, is going to be epic. You will not want to miss it. You know, it doesn't look like this, in other words, where it's just sideways and ugly as hell. It would have a huge amount of mo, massive volume spike, and we'd be at 8 or 9K easy by now, if not double digits, you know. So, not a credible E so far. Could it be an E in progress? A, B, C. Yes, it could. Why don't I like that? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm just not seeing the market internals in terms of volume and accumulation. We've talked about this many times, so I won't belabor you further, to suggest that the correction is about to end anytime soon, right? That's probably the number one point. But from an Elliott technical point, this E would have to come down here so damn close to the C. I mean, the C's already, it's already damn close, right? But this is the absolute limit. The E can't go below the C. Okay, so this E would have to come in somewhere around here to maintain this wedge shape. And if this wedge, or this triangle shape, and if this boundary gets broken very much with a kind of an overthrow for the E, then you're going to invalidate the triangle. It's already damn close to the C. So what kind of ratio for a C leg would have you come down here without invalidating this as a D? A, B, C, D up here, and E down. You'd have to have this huge retracement of this A of this E, if this is A, B, C of an E, huge retracement up, and then, you know, like a 50 to 618 ratio between the A and the C, which is not really that standard for a zigzag. And moreover, for those of you guys who are members, you've seen me count this a bunch of times over the past week. There's no way this is a simple little, you know, pattern that's going to go all the way up here. I mean, it's just massively complex and looks very much like this, except even uglier. And with less volume, no mojo at all whatsoever. It looks like it's about to keel over and die. You know, in fact, I'm thinking it might be a WXY with a Y triangle being put in here before it goes down. So, don't really buy this as the likely triangle that's going on. However, it is absolutely a credible count. I don't like the huge A. I don't like the E being so damn close to the C. I don't like the personality of what's going on in the markets to suggest anything that we're near the end of it. And if it's a triangle Y, then we don't got an X or a Z. The Y can only be in two places. It can be in the X wave, or it can be in the Y itself. Penultimate or ultimate position. So don't like this option. The other option, of course, is all of this is part of an X triangle, and you've got We've done this one before, so I don't need to spend more than a quick minute on it. Now this one is more credible so far to me. It's still got the problem of a huge leg here, this B now, instead of the A, this B being very, very substantial relative to everything else, but C, D, and an E in progress where this is like, you know, A, B, and then a C up here, and it meanders sideways in ugly ass overlapping ending diag type of fashion, and then boom, down it goes. That's credible. I just don't like this huge B. I also don't think this has that much mo in it. I don't see enough in the indicators, and for it to go all the way up here to put a new price extreme relative to this high, when the Vegas waves are crushing it like this, I don't really see it. So what are we left with? Well, I think this might be what's going on. And I've got two counts here, W and A, X or B, and Y or C, because it doesn't matter what's to the left and to the right of these boundary lines. My contention to you is this entire thing in the middle is either an X or a B, okay? And it's a WXY itself. Now B, as you know, can be a double 3. Can an X? And the answer is yes. The only leg within a combination pattern or double or triple zigzag pattern in Elliott Wave Theory that can itself be a WXY, meaning a double 3 or a triple 3 even, WXYXZ, or a double zigzag or triple zigzag, is the X wave. The W of a double or triple zigzag and the Y and the Z have to be simple zigzags, and W of and Y and a Z of a double or triple 3 sideways pattern must be either a zigzag, a flat, or a triangle. Simple patterns only. So X can be all kinds of crazy, and this is crazy. But is it really crazy given the other options, right? Let's talk about this one. First of all, this W has been measured as a clean zigzag so many different times, I'm not going to do it again, other than to say that this C leg is 1272 of the A leg almost to the tick. A very, very likely measurement for a C that is going parabolic like this, right? If it was motive and it's going parabolic like this, it would have ended at 1618 or higher. It didn't. It's cold stopped at 1272. Now this zigzag also has a very clean ratio. We did the same measurement where I had this measured as a 1 of an ending diag. I had this as a leading diag, an X, or sorry, a B, and then 1, you know, oh sorry, no, I had this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 down. But we measured the 3 and the 1 relative to each other very clean. Is 786. This is 786 of this, right? Perfectly fine fib ratio for the C leg of a triangle too, or sorry, of a zigzag. So zigzag W, zigzag X, and then this thing a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. Much, much cleaner. You resolve this ugly problem of the massive leg, whether A or B, and let's focus on this one, because you're going to be, I think, surprised by some of the relationships that you can find with Fibonacci that suggest that this is all one structure. Alright guys, so to save time, since some of you guys are complaining my videos are too long, I actually charted this up, and let me take out the fib time for a second. Okay, so this is the triangular leg that we're talking about. This is what I think might be going on. So A is very clearly a 3-wave and can be counted as a zigzag. No complaints there, right? A, B, C. This is a little more challenging because it just looks, I mean, just it's what I call, you know, a shish kebab pattern where you got a straight line and a bunch of meat, little meatballs everywhere, right? It could be lots of things. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be an impulse. It could be A, B, and a monster C, right? It could be a double zigzag. A, B, C, X, A, B, C, right? X here. A, B, C, X, A, B, C. Very cleanly could be that. It could be lots of weird things. Okay, so it qualifies as a possibility. It would be. Now, because it could be lots of weird things and it's ugly, I'm going to call this the complex wave. And it's the only complex wave that's allowed within this triangle, which means every other pattern has to be a simple zigzag pattern. This one is, check. This one can be, although pretty ugly, but it can be. Tiny 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A. Very sharp B. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, all of this is 3, 4, 5. Anyway, there's a way to count this as a simple zigzag. Not my favorite way to count it, but it's certainly credible. And it's so ugly that there's not my favorite way of anything to count this. Now here's the part where, you know, this being so sharp, I mean, could it be massive A, B, and a tiny little C? Yes, it could be. The D could be in. Okay? Technically, it's possible. But then we're working on the E, and man, this is just a very, very slow and ugly start to the E, and it's already just so complex. Moreover, this pattern here, let me zoom in. Oh man, I can't. I'm on the 1 hour. Let me just take it to the 5 minute real quick, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Guys, you know, count this as a 5-wave for me, please. From here to here. Without faking the funk. Count this as a 5-wave from here to here. You can't. It's very clearly 3-wave. This thing is all one big shot up, so, you know, there's barely any retracement of the same degree as any of this, or within, you know, A, B, C. How else do you count this thing? Could be a triangle here. A, B, C, D, E, and then the C. Short A, triangle B, and a C. I don't know how else you count this. I mean, if this is a zigzag, then it's short A, B, C, zigzag, and then it's 1, 2, what? Right? There's no more waves. It's just a straight line. So the way I would count it is A, triangle, B, C. And if it's a 3-wave, then what the hell is it doing in the beginning of an E wave? What the hell is it doing here? In the beginning of what we're saying is, hold on. What we're saying might be an E wave here. How is a 3-wave move in the beginning of an E wave likely when the E has to be a zigzag? I mean, it could be the one of a leading diag, 1, 2, but then, you know, this count, it doesn't make sense, right? So to me, what I think is happening is we're putting in the B leg of the D. And the D's coming down, and it's going to be like a double bottom type of barrier triangle situation. This thing will grind up slowly, or maybe it's a WX, you know, flat correction, zigzag, and then a triangle here, A, B, C, D, E. That might be what's going on, because it's been going sideways here for some time. WX and then a triangle A, B, C, D, E, and then boom, down for the D. Now the D would have to be obviously not 100% of the A, but so what? It could be like 50% or 618 and be credible. Let's say this is yeah, so it could go 50%, and the D would come in right here, like this, okay? And then it would go up for the E. Now, look, the A relative to the C here is a very clean, nearly 618. Splits the difference between 50 and the 618 as measured from here to here. See that? This where is this? Let me take it out so you can see. See this one right here, 50 to 618. See this measurement? Right? That's the C relative to the A, which is textbook. off by, not that much. The D, if it comes down here, where the C leg, if this is the end of it, comes down and is 50% give or take of this move, and it's a barrier triangle that kind of double bottoms off of here, well, then the D would be, once again, between 50 to 618 of this B. It's this measurement here. Let me just take it out so you can see it when I put it back in. See this B? 50 to 618? Right there. Same exact ratio as this. And then the E would come up here and be 50 to 618 of this, which, assuming double bottoms are close, I guess it would be down here. It would get you right on this trend line. The AC trend line. You can have an overthrow, so it could go all the way up here, except you can't get past the C. But I'm not seeing the mojo in it to make it much up. It could even be an underthrow and fail to reach this this trend line. It could go and then back down, right? So, to me, this is if there's a triangle in there, this is the most credible of the triangular counts. W, X that's an X, Y. Probably is a double zigzag, or A, B that's a WXY, C. Like this. Now I put it on this chart instead of this busy one because I want to do some measurements on this. Actually, you know what? I'll just do them here. So, one of the things that I've noticed about triangles is they generally comply to fib time better than most other patterns. So, let me do some fib time analysis for you guys and see if you agree with me this is likely, given what's going on. I'm not saying likely forever, but just given what's going on. Right. First thing we're going to analyze is if this is W or A, this is the beginning of this entire X wave and it's so sharp, I wonder what the relationship is of this second zigzag relative to the triangle, right? So let's do that. Now you guys saw me do the measurements, so I'm just going to delete them for cleanliness reasons. So from the beginning of this to the end of this, I'm going to call the second pivot to the right the end of it, but it doesn't really matter. The reason why I'm doing that is it was the lowest low in Bitstamp. And Bitstamp is it's a major exchange, guys. I know that not all of you believe it, but it's part of the BitMEX index, for example. So it's a very important price to follow. But anyway, look at this, 618. We're almost at the 618. 786 here to potentially put the D in, the E in. That's kind of interesting. But where's the 100%? I don't know if I see it going all the way out here, but 786 as an ending spot, maybe even the 886 can be interesting. It's perfectly credible fib time relationship between this part of the correction and the rest of it. Now let me put some other fib levels in there just to see. 236382. Let's move it to the right one, left one pivot here. Well, if this is not proof that we live in a Fibonacci world, I don't know what is. 38236, 382 pretty much nail the A and the B to the tick. 618 is not far off the C. It certainly nails this downward move here. But the 786, to me, is a very possible landing spot for either the E or the D. It's unclear because we don't know whether the B of this D is going to meander sideways for much longer or go up, and then we don't know whether the D is going to come down a straight shot or meander downwards, much like this C leg of this ABC did, right? And then we got plenty of time for the E to wander around some and get put in maybe at the 886 or something. Anyway, these are all kind of key levels that I'm watching. I don't know which leg of which triangle's wave gets put in, but these are probably going to be pretty damn close, given the 236 here, 382 here, 618 here, right? Now, what if we take it one pivot to the left and start measuring this massive thing? Sorry, let me. Okay, so swing high, swing low. Now on this one, I'm gonna use a little bit different. Let's do all the major ones. So 618, 1618. I actually have not done this before, guys. So sorry, I'm not prepared for it. But I think if I get something exciting, maybe it'll lend more credence to it because it's not prepared. 4618. There's also some key levels like the 2236, 1414. 3236. Okay, anyway, that's enough. Wow. I mean, look, I can already see there's a lot of overlap between. Let me make it a different color. Well, the 382 and the 236 certainly land in interesting spots, to say the very least. What about the 100%? Missing 100%. Let's take out the 1414 is not particularly interesting in this one, so let's just make it the 1. And look, bam, right there. Pretty interesting. And then it starts getting real saucy. Look at the 1618 right here. 2236 is not that interesting here. Take that out. Oh, wait. I must have had it in two places. Where's the other one? Yeah, here. 2618. Damn interesting. The 3236, highly confident with the 236 of this move, of this measurement. And then the 3618 is like basically, you can't even see the 382 because it's on top of each other. Triangle A, triangle B. Look at the confluence here, guys. I mean, come on now. The 618, this is the 3618, which has it landing right where this triangle is, which is confluent with a 786. You can't see it because they're on top of each other. But let me delete one real quickly and then put it back in so you can see. Focus on this line and this line. See? These two? 382 and 786, and now I add them back. Bam, right on the money. Completely different part of the structure. This is the W as opposed to the X wave here. But this is the kind of thing that Carolyn Borodin, the queen of Fibonacci, is very well known for. She's a master at finding confluence in fib time, and I've studied her methodology quite a bit, and she picks every major pivot out there, low to low, high to high, low to high, high to low, everything, and then tries to find these clusters of confluence and trades them. And this is the kind of thing that she, if she were an Elliottian, which she's not, would be very excited about. So can we find something close to the 618 off of this orange pull? That's in between the 3618 and the 4618. So how about the 4236? It's a major level, right? Oh man, look at that. Boom. Okay. Well, we don't know what waves have been put in here yet, right? So no use getting all excited, but my point is there's a fair amount of evidence here that if this is in fact a triangle, it's going to end relatively soon. Maybe this is the D, it's already been put in, and we're working on the E, or maybe it's the B of the D, and then the D down. I guess this cluster of fibs would suggest that maybe the D's in. And it's not like this. Now we're going up for the E. Maybe something like this. And it's a very ugly sideways E, much like this was as a C. It is possible. But from an Elliott standpoint, where I'm leaning towards is I think this is the D in progress, because this, if this is the D here, it's just too short relative to the C in time for it to be credible. I think what's going on is the latter, the way I had it before. Whoops. I don't know what I just did there. Yeah, like this. D coming in. So let's zoom in on this thing as the last thing we'll do on this video, and do a similar analysis. In order to do that, let me get to the 30-minute. No, 1 hour. Okay. Man, just look at these fib levels pulled from structures that were put in months and months ago, almost more than half a year ago, and we're at the 1 hour. They're literally like minutes away or hours away from the pivot. So it's precision right there, precision. But let me hide these, and I'm going to bring them back later to find further clusters of technical Fibonacci confluence. But let's run another fib time, on just the triangle legs. So the A, we have to make a decision measure from here or here. I guess I'll go with here to start. We can adjust it later. And what do we get? Well, these little ones aren't going to be too material. One, 2, 2, 3, 6. Okay. Get rid of these two. So, I mean, the first thing you'll notice is where the hell is the 618? Square on the B. I mean, you might have missed it by 15 minutes or whatever. The 1618 is a little bit no man's land here, but, and where's the C? What about the 1414, which I had put in prior? And damn close to the C, 1382. There you go. So for this to be the D, is it 2? Why don't we just try 2? Very well could be there. Could also be like 1786 maybe. It might be the ending of the B. Well, anyway, not a super clean um, uh, fib level that gets us to the ending of the D, but the E possibility at the 2236 or 2618 is very exciting. And maybe the 2236, maybe the D ends up here. A, B, sideways for a while, and then a meandering D down here. Very possible. But at least for these legs, you got to be excited that, let me bring back the two that I hid to find even more confluence. There's another one here. Oh, these are pulls I did from a variety of different pulls. I mean, just look at the damn confluence here, guys. From 3 or 4 different fib pulls and different patterns within the structure. I don't have time to do every single one of these pulls. You saw me do 3 of them already, but you can apply the same methodology to to lows versus lows, lows versus highs. Just mix them all up. Significant levels, not, you can't fake the funk. You got to do it, significant levels, like from here to here would be one, from here to here obviously is one, maybe from here to all the way to here is one, from here to here is one, maybe from here to here might be another, here to here might be another. Well, you got to do your own pulls, but just look at these clusters, guys, are not coincidental. Action is going to happen here. Look at this cluster of fibs right there. Whether up or down, we'll see, and maybe I'll update you guys when we get there in a month or two. But maybe it won't take 2 months. But we are close to getting some activity here. As I said in last week's video, price alternates between periods of range expansion and range compression. Range expansion, undeniably. Now we've been in range compression for a long time. So by the time we hit this potential E or whatever this cluster ends up being of fib time, we are going to start moving. We're going to move in a hurry. So with that, I will leave you for this week's video. It's way longer than I wanted it to be, but it's still under an hour. So for those of you guys who complain, I still kept it within 30-some minutes. So I am improving. I'll talk to you guys next week.